Good evening, Shivani. Good evening, Katta, Priyanka. Janvi, Rituja.
Hi, sir. Good evening, Atanu, sir.
Hi.
Hi. Do we have our speaker right now present with us?
Sorry, I missed your voice.
Okay, so do we have our speaker present with us right now?
I cannot able to see her in case if she has joined in another name because I have given a time of 5:50.
Yes,
So
we see.
yeah,
Hi,
yes, she
Ankita. Good
is.
evening.
We can able
Hi,
to see
hi, good
Ankita.
Good
evening.
evening. Yeah. Hi. Now we would be starting our session in another 5 minutes, and we're waiting for all our students to join in. You can share your presentation, and then we can probably start.
All right, so I have asked, I think Kawal will present the screen and
Sure, sure,
I'll just walk everyone through that.
sure,
Yes,
sure.
I'll do that.
So I can see that students are still joining in, and yeah,
Yes, we will be starting our session on time, and let students
yes.
keep joining, right? Yeah. So, Kawal, could you please share the screen? We will be starting our session on time. Please share the screen.
I can see students are still joining in, so we'll be waiting, and we'll start the session sharp at 6. We have our speaker with us, and we are just waiting the right time to start the session. Yeah, please be with us. So we'll start in another 3 minutes as previously communicated. We'll start the sessions up at 6 p.m. So we'll be waiting for another 3 minutes so that in case if anyone is joining, they can join.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Before we would be starting with the session, I have a request. All the students who are right now in the session, they need to mute themselves. If you have any questions, you can write those questions in the chat box. Once Ankita Chaturvedi would be closing a session, we will have another 15 to 20 minutes for all the participants, for all the students to ask the questions through chat box. I request all the trainers also to ensure that the students who have joined in from a particular batch to keep themselves on the mute mode and to not disturb the session in between. So thank you very much once again for your participation. We would be shortly starting the session. Thank you. All right, good evening, everyone. Once again, I've been asked to repeat. I request all the students to keep themselves on mute. They do not have to keep themselves on unmute. The reason is for us to understand what the speaker is talking about. आप अपनी ऑडियो को म्यूट पे रखें ताकि हमारा स्पीकर जो है अंकिता चतुर्वेदी वो आपसे जो भी बात कर रही हैं वो सबको क्लियरली सुनाई दे. And now we would be starting the session. Kavalpreet, over to you, please.
Thank you, Sandeep ma'am. Thank you very much. And good evening, everybody. I welcome you all for this expert session today. And a very warm welcome to our students, faculty members from the team Adunet for attending today's expert session with us. Our guest speaker for today's session is Ankita Chaturvedi. She has done her engineering in electronics and communication. She started her career from a non-technical domain in the year 2019. She actually switched from the non-technical domain to the technical domain. And she had worked with a startup and then she switched to work with an MNC. And currently she is working at PayPal as a software development engineer. Her core skills are in Java, data structures, algorithms, Spring Boot framework, and microservices architecture. She has joined us today to share her experiences and her inspiring journey with all of us. So in today's session, she'll be discussing about the importance of social presence in today's professional world, how you can build your own network using your LinkedIn profile. She will also be discussing about the importance and fundamentals of competitive programming. So without wasting any time, I would like to invite our guest speaker, Ankita Chaturvedi, to begin with today's session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kavalpreet ma'am. First thing before we go ahead and Ankita starts with the session, once again, this is a request to all the students. Kindly keep yourself on mute. We would not be wanting the speaker to be interrupted. And whatever questions or queries you have, kindly put them on your chat and Ankita would be answering them one by one once she finishes her session. So over to you, Ankita, and thank you very much for your eminence presence and your valuable time. Now you can start with the session.
First of all, thank you for such a warm welcome and thank you for giving me this honor and this platform to inspire a lot of girls out there. So I think I'm definitely honored to be here and it's a great opportunity for me to share my experience with you all and foster you guys how you can from how you can hop from non tech to tech domain and how you can enhance or upscale yourself in engineering field. So I'll quickly start with the entire PPT, but before that, I'll quickly brief you about myself. So I think like Kaval have already given my short intro, but let me just also tell you about myself. So hello everyone, I'm Ankita. And I started my career in 2016. Earlier, I was in non-tech domain, and I spent close to 2 years in non-tech domain. And then later on, I realized that additionally, I'm from engineering background, so I should try in the tech domain as well. And I had inclination, or there were, I think, lot of technologies were getting advanced at that point in time, which inclined me towards that. I literally like I have so many friends from technology. So when they used to have conversation about technology, I found it very gravitational and I wanted to do something challenging. So if you are in the engineering field itself and you're pursuing engineering, in future you're gonna face a lot of challenging work. You're gonna get a lot of challenging work, and that will keep upscaling you. And I think that's predominantly that was the primary reason to change my domain from non-tech to tech. And like Kaval said, I initially started from a startup wherein I focused on learning. And after 2 years of learning and diligent work, I targeted some MNCs, and I had got few offers, and out of them I chose PayPal. So currently I'm in PayPal. So let's begin how you guys can also get into the tech domain, and how you can get into MNC, and you can achieve your goals. So Kawal, can you present the screen? I'll start the presentation.
Sure, sure, Ankita ma'am. Just a moment. Yes, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do it in the present mode, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So like you see, the first screen says create one-page CV. So why am I saying that you should always create a one-page CV? One, recruiters have to go through multiple profiles. I hear some commotion from the background.
Kindly mute yourself so that we do not disturb the speaker. And to all the trainers, kindly ensure that your students are not disturbing the speaker. Please, Ankita, go ahead.
All right. So what do I meant by one-page CV? So one, I mentioned the reason is recruiter has to go through several profiles per day. So they might not be interested in a lot of information. And when they see a lot of information, I think that is somewhere a little uninteresting. So as a fresher, anyways, you do not have a lot of experience in work. I still hear the commotion. Whosoever has unmuted themselves, please put themselves on mute. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, why one-page CV? One, recruiter has to go through several profiles per day. So it's little uninteresting when you create multiple pages of CV. Okay. That is one reason. Second reason is you do not have any industrial experience, right? As a fresher, you do not have any industrial experience. Hence, you should always try to highlight only the skills which are required for that role. So, for example, I have taken this sample example. So, if you see, they have clearly mention their objective, and then if they have any work experience, then they'll just showcasing their work experience. But here what you can do is, instead of putting the work experience, if you have worked on any project, any life project, or if you have built any small projects, even at your college or for your learning purpose. So you can put those learning or your project details here. Now on the right side, you're seeing the skills, right? So in skills section, only put the important or predominant skills. So for example, I talk about myself. If I have experience in Java, microservices, and there are a lot of many other tools or technologies I work on, but I will only highlight the important technologies because when they hire, when the recruiter hire for that role, they already know that these are the basic or these are the skills uh, technologists must be possessing when they are working on this particular role. Okay, so only highlight important skills like if you have learned any language, put Java, Python, C++, and then if you have worked on any database, be it relational database or any like NoSQL and all, you can put that also. Then if you have learned any other technology, like if you have learned microservice, put that also. Or if you are learning artificial intelligence, cloud computing, just put that also. So these are the important things. You don't have to put a lot of things in skill section. Now, honors and awards, you can put organization. Like I mentioned, you guys have not worked, but if as a fresher or as a student, you have now, I think there are a lot of platforms and there are a lot of scopes for you also as a student to work. One is freelancing projects. As a student, also, you can take the freelancing project. Second, there are open source contribution. So if you're contributing to any open source project, put that also here. Or if you are working on any other project, like you have a great GitHub profile or you have your own repository, you can put that detail here. And languages and all these details, you do not have to put English and Hindi and all, you don't have to put the education. So altogether in your CV, your objective should be there, your learning should be there, like the projects which you have worked on, your skills should be there, your award should be there. I mean, your achievement or accomplishment should be there, your education details should be there. And in addition to that, if you are having any GitHub repository wherein you are pushing your code, you can put that link also here. You can put your LinkedIn profile here if you have the LinkedIn profile, or if you're writing any tech blog, so you can write add the link of that blog also here. I think that will enhance your CV. So just put the important details. Do not put a lot of info because that is sometimes a little uninteresting. Now, can we move to the next slide? And anyone has any question, they can just put in the chat regarding the
Yes.
CV.
Yes, Ankita. There is a question from Varshita. She says, ma'am, how to get freelancing projects and open source? That's a question.
So for freelancing projects, I would suggest you there are a lot of links there wherein so you can just Google that, and there are a lot of openings as a student. If you have, firstly, you have to ensure before applying as a freelancing contributor, you have to ensure that you have a GitHub repository, you have worked on certain projects, okay, you have built some projects, be it at college level or like regional level. If you are working in group or you have built any project, you can put that there. And yes, for freelancing project, you can just Google it. There are so many openings, you can apply for it. And mostly you will see that for freelancing project, US based companies and like foreign based companies, they hire for freelancing project. So if you have really good skills and if you have a good Git repo and a lead code profile, I think you should get hired via that. And for open source contribution also, as a beginner, I was going through some links wherein I saw that there are so many open source projects wherein beginners are contributing. So I can share that link later on.
Hello, ma'am.
You can just go through that.
Thank you, Ankita. Ankita, there's one more question. We have it from Professor Ishaq Khan from GC Dahod, Government Engineering College, Dahod, Gujarat. He has a question related to certification, and I think there are so many reactions to his question. So his question is, what is the importance of certification in getting a job?
Truly speaking, it is a good addition when you're doing the certification. Definitely, you're learning something out of that, and it's a somehow a validation that you have done, you have learned this particular skill. But I do not see a lot of importance of that. I mean, via my experience, like since I have been in the industry, I do not see a lot of plus of certification. But yeah, I think it's a tiny plus that it's a validation that you have done, you have learned that technology. And I think the important part is when I think when you're going through the certification and if you have given the exams also, I think when you're going through certification, you have to give exam and there is a certain score which you have to secure. If you're securing, then and only you are getting the certification. So you can just put the score and all when you are adding your certification to the CV and all. But as per my experience, I do not see a lot of plus of certification. Do we have any follow-up question on the same?
I do not see that as of now, but yes, Ankita's message is that certification is important, but this is not about all about certification only. There are other things that does matter. So can we move on to the next slide? Ankita, you would like to move on to the next slide?
Yeah, sure. We can move. Yeah, it's really important. I think as a technologist, or especially as a student, one should definitely have a LinkedIn profile and a repository. So firstly, I'll tell you what is like how you can create a LinkedIn profile. Kawal, can you just open my LinkedIn profile?
Yeah, just a second, Ankita.
I request audience to mute themselves, please. Kawal, can we share the LinkedIn profile, please?
Yes, I'm on it, Sandeep. Just a moment.
Okay, Ankita, by the time Kawal pulls up the LinkedIn profile of yours, there is question from, again, a question. Okay, there are many questions in between. So the question is, ma'am, academic is any effects on getting jobs in companies? That means, is there any criteria in relation to the academics for getting a good job? So do they need to have good academic record for getting the job?
Okay, I am the live example. I think I'm the epitome for that. I'm from Tier 3 college, and you can see my profile. It's not mandated to be really good in academics. Um, and if in past you have not secured really well in academics, does not mean that you will not have a good future in your career. It's just that I think it does not matter. These days, companies are predominantly looking for skills and your how deep knowledge you are holding. So, as a technologist, if you are so well versed with the fundamentals, you know the nitty gritties, whatever you are working on, and you know it in and out, I think that's what matters. Past academic score doesn't matter much.
All right, so we have your profile here in front of us. So you'd like to go ahead with the LinkedIn profiling? Yes. Kawal,
Yeah.
can we share the profile, please?
La.
So I'll just share my screen. Yes, I'll share my screen. Hold on, I have the profile. Yes. Yes, Ankita Chaturvedi, your profile is here, so please go ahead.
All right. So now this is my profile. You can so as a student, I think it's really important, especially these days, you should have a LinkedIn account wherein you put your basic information. Let me just walk you through my profile. So if you see about, I have put all the skills I'm holding, what technologies I have worked on, and then also initially when I was learning the concepts of CS and I was learning the concepts of Java, I used to write the tech blogs. So medium.com is one of the platform wherein if you're learning as a student, if you're learning anything and you feel that you have referred from multiple sources and you hold a good knowledge about that, you can just write a small blog on that. This will be a plus and this will definitely accentuate your profile. And the third one is, so ensure if you're having any such if you have any such account wherein you're writing the blogs, please put that link here. Then the third one is, if you see that I have also added a lead code profile account here. So lead code is one of the competitive programming platform wherein one creates their account and solve the program. Sorry, solve the problems there. Can you scroll down a bit? Yeah. So I think as a fresher, you might not have the industrial experience, but definitely what you can do is here you can put your projects which you have worked on. So like I mentioned, if you have contributed to any freelancing project, please put the company's name and what project, what exactly you had worked on. Or if you're contributing to any open source, please put the details here. Okay. The company details, which company you are contributing to, a company project you're contributing to, and what are the skills which are being applied to that project. So yeah, this is how my profile. And like somebody asked me whether it's important for to have a good academic background or not. See, I'm from tier 3 college. Then I was on non-tech domain, and then I moved to startup, and then today I'm working with MNC. So I think it's definitely not important. So yeah, this is how you can create your profile. Now, moving to the next thing is repository. So what do I mean by repository? I have mentioned that in the slide. Kawal, can you scroll up a bit more and just go on the top of the profile? So there is a link for medium.com. Can you just copy that and open it? Yeah, in about. So yeah.
Harish's screen is visible to us. Kindly rejoin in case it's an internet problem.
Yeah, so this is my Medium account, and it's a free of cost platform. You don't have to pay anything. What I was doing is, when I was learning, what I used to do is I used to refer multiple sources from where I was learning. And once I feel that okay, I know my concept regarding this. Sorry, my core concept regarding this topic is really good, then I used to write the tech blogs. And this is my repository. So whenever I feel that, okay, I have forgotten that concept, I go back and refer my repository. So, and also one thing, even if you feel that you might not be right at each and every concept, it's okay to write the tech blog. It is okay. You will get the feedback from the audience. They will tell you that this is not right, this is the correct one. So people will be there, audience will be there to correct you. But this will be definitely a plus to your profile. I would definitely firstly you guys to write the tech blogs just to keep your own repository for the learning purpose and for future reference, and also to enhance your CV. Lot of recruiters, when they were reaching out to me, they spoke about my tech blogs. So I think it is indeed a plus. Does anyone have any question regarding this, regarding the LinkedIn profile or the tech blogs?
Okay, so we do have questions here. There is a question from Sakshi Tripathi. She's written medium.com is for what? That's a question. So I'll be just reading the question.
So medium.com is a platform wherein people contribute their learning. So for example, we have the Geeks for Geeks, we have Tutorials Point. These are the reference, or these are the platforms from where we learn, right? So it's the same. Here on medium.com, it's a free of cost platform wherein people come and write their learnings or contribute their learnings. And
Right.
so you can just walk through it. You can check right now also. You can just open the medium.com. And if you want to search any topic, you will definitely get it from the working folks or the students also. They also write the tech blogs.
Okay. I would request the audience to kindly mute themselves because you've unmuted yourself. So it is creating disturbance while the speaker is.
Also, I saw a question from Sakshi whether you can write about your project on medium.com. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Certainly, please do that. One, you will also remember that how you had created that project. It would be a future reference for you. And also, it will be helpful for other students as well. If they want to know how you had created that project, they can walk through that. So please do that.
All right. So there is one question: how to do development and DSA together?
I will come to that later on. I have a separate slide for that. So I'll definitely cover this question while going through that slide.
Sure. So now, Atanu, could you please share the presentation?
I can share, Sandeep. I'm in the
Yeah. Okay, you're in the
Just a
session.
moment.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Just a moment.
By the time, Ankita, we have one more question. How to participate lead code? I think you can relate.
Yes, so I have a separate slide for that. I'll just walk through the lead code profile also, wherein I'll tell you how to create your account and how to solve problems and how you can enhance your development skills also. And I see a question, what is the platform for writing the tech blogs? Please check medium.com. It's a free of cost platform, like I had said before also, wherein you can create your account, put the basic info of yourself and start writing the tech blogs. And there are also Quora also, wherein you can contribute your learning. And you will get the feedback from the audiences, whosoever is reviewing or walking through your blog. If there is any correction required, they'll definitely put that in the comment section. Yeah, now moving to the next slide, focus on fundamentals. I think this is a very essential part as a technologist. Like for a technologist, CS fundamentals are way too important when you are thinking of working as a technologist. Um, so what do I mean by CS fundamentals? I think students who are from the CS field itself or CS background itself, they know what do I mean by that. So one in CS fundamentals comes as we have the operating system. You should know well about the operating system. How does it function? What are there in the operating system? How does it work? Then we have the memory management. So we know that how a software works when we are writing the code.
One should indeed learn data structure, memory management, DBMS.
Kindly mute yourself, please.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
please go ahead.
CS fundamentals. For CS fundamentals, there are some amazing platforms which you can refer. I refer to Geeks for Geeks, and then I used to refer to Tutorials Point. Then I also used to refer to Medium.com. Why I always prefer Medium.com on top, because Medium.com mostly you will see the tech blogs from very good technologists. It does not mean that the Geeks for Geeks and Tutorials Point does not have good content. They definitely do have, but I prefer to collect the data from multiple sources so that I have a correct understanding, and my concept a bit become a little stronger. Because everybody has their own way of understanding or comprehending things, right? So when you refer to multiple sources, you actually understand things in and out. So that's why I always prefer these three, but my top choice is medium.com. Then the second one is data structure. Somebody has asked me a question regarding the data structure. So as a CA student, or if you're from any other field, like I am from electronics and communication, I did not get this opportunity to learn the data structure during my engineering. But later on, when I entered or stepped in the technology industry, I realized that data structures are really important to learn, because data structure, like we have arrays, linked lists, they actually help you to understand how the memory management works, how a data is structured in different ways to store it. Okay, so one should definitely learn the data structure, how the memory management is happening for each of the data structure, and try to visualize that. Visualization will definitely help you to learn it thoroughly. Memory management, I have already covered in the other two topics, and then DBMS. It's really important for you to learn DBMS fundamentals, how the database works, because anywhere you go, you have to deal with the data. For a technologist, the if you have to work on anything, the most important thing is data and the data storage. So please ensure that you learn one of the database language, or sorry, the query language, and you learn how the database management system works. Can we move to the next slide? Now, yeah, competitive programming. People had been asking me this question regarding lead code and all. So, competitive programming, now if you see on LinkedIn, anywhere you watch YouTube videos, people keep talking about the competitive programming. What I believe is, as a fresher, it's really essential, or it's really important to learn the competitive programming, not just to get into the industry, but also it helps you to build your core concepts. It helps you to enhance your coding skills. It helps you that to write the code in in different ways or multiple ways. That how you can write one a solution in different ways. How you can optimize one solution in different ways. So yeah, that is why competitive programming is very important as a fresher. So let's walk through one of the competitive programming platform. Like you have seen in the slide that there are multiple competitive programming platforms. Like we have the Lead Code, we have Code Chef, HackerRank, Geeks for Geeks, Coding Ninja, Hacker Earth, whatever suits you. Just go through all the platform, and whatever seems feasible for you, create the account and start solving the problem there. So my preference was always lead code. I started with the lead code, and then I became addicted, and it became a little feasible for me. So I continued to solve problems on lead code itself. Kavil, can you just open my LinkedIn profile and pick the link of lead code from there?
Sure, sure, Ankita. Just a moment. And Ankita, I think there are a few questions. In the meantime, you can see, like, I think one of the, yeah, I'm just pulling up the profile, just a second.
Can someone read those questions for me? Because I think I do not have
Yes.
the access to chat.
Yes, yes. I'll read those questions for you. How to analyze constraints in lead code? This is one of the questions we have for you.
So constraint is already given in the problem itself. So mostly what happens is you have to ensure these are the edge cases. Constraints are always given to handle the edge cases. So when you're solving the problem, please ensure you try to relate those edge cases with the constraints which are given. So yeah, that is you can that's how you can utilize the constraint to come up with the edge cases, to handle the edge cases and solve come up with the solution for that. Does that answer your question, or do you have any follow-up question for the same?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hi. We would request you to write the question on the chat box so that ma'am can clearly understand that and then she can answer it accordingly. Yeah, Deepa said, yeah, thanks. She got the answer. Okay, the next question is from Yashaswini. Is it okay to refer solution if we didn't get or spend more time on it?
Yes, of course, I still refer to the solution. So as a fresher, when you're starting, please do, and not only as a fresher, even firstly start with the easy problems. Once you feel in the beginning, you'll definitely face the hurdle, or you would won't be able to come up with the solution in one go. So please, there is no harm in referring to the solution. Please go through that, but ensure when you're solving the same problem next time, you do not have to refer to the solution. You should be able to write the solution on your own. And yeah, so altogether, there is no harm looking at the solution.
There's one question, and then we can definitely click on view full profile. The question is, how much important is good English for interviews?
It is important. So but it doesn't mean that you have to be very fluent, you have to be so good in communication skills. Why English is important? It's just that you should be able to, it's just a way of communication, right? If you're able to communicate uh, the solution to the interviewer, it's all good, okay? And why English is important in the industrial industry? Because most of the companies are US based, and when we have to communicate with the US folks, so yeah, if you should know the basic English. So not really necessary that you have to be fluent or very good in communication. It's just that you should be able to communicate your thoughts.
Thank you, Ankita. So Ankita, we've opened up your profile. So you want us to copy the lead code that's there in about?
Yes.
Yes.
Last one.
Last one. So in about, the last line is lead code. So could you please copy that lead code and put it on this? Yes.
Just copy the link.
Just the code. Yes.
Should I put it on the chat, Cindy?
You want it to be shared on the chat, or you want it to be put on the Google or Microsoft Bing?
Are you asking me? Just open this in the Google.
Open this.
Okay. Directly open this link.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Can you go to this explore? Now, if you see in Explore, we have the data structure and algorithms. We also have the dynamic programming. We have the arrays and all. So it comes under the data structure itself. I will suggest you firstly start learning the data structure, which is the theoretical part, wherein you learn the core concept, you learn the memory management of each data structure. Like we have the arrays, we have the linked list, we have tree, we have this graph, how these all data um, structure the data in order to store them in different ways. So learn the core concepts of those data structures. It's going to be a theoretical part. And then if you can you just scroll down a bit more? Yeah. Then yeah, just go on the top. I think there will be a separate section for problems. So what I had done is maybe everybody has their own way of learning things. But what I had done is I created my profile on the Leap Code. I learned the theoretical part of each data structure. And while learning the each data structure, I used to refer to multiple sources. One, I used to go through the Leap Code itself. Kavil, can you just open arrays, just arrays 101, this, yeah, the blue. Yeah. So now you see that they have also given you enough data here, uh, like to go through. So these are the basics of arrays, like how exactly array works, how does it structure the data, how the insertion happens, how deletion happens. So just go through each one of the section one by one, and everybody will have the access to it. I do not have the paid account. And also what I used to do is simultaneously, I used to refer to multiple other sources as well. Like there is Geeks for Geeks, there is Tutorials Point, then there is medium.com. So after going through the arrays from here, I will just go through those other references also, so that my concept becomes really strong. If I have missed on something, when I'm reading the other article, I would be able to capture that. And then I used to jot down each important essential point of the data structure, that how is it storing the data. Like array stores the data in contiguous memory locations, right? That is one important thing. So I used to write those important points in a notebook. And similarly, I had done for other data structures. And once I was done, sorry. So once I was done with the theoretical concept, I started with the basic problem. So here also, if you see inserting item, can you, Kawal, can you just go to the, yeah, this one. Yeah. So can you scroll down a bit? So firstly, um, they have given a short example wherein they describe how an array stores the data, and then they have given certain problems on the same, or they have given the solution also. So you can just go through the solution. You can just try to write the code on your own also, and just cross verify if that is the correct code which you have written or not. And this is how you can build on top of it slowly and gradually. You learn how is it inserting the data, how is it deleting the data, how is it updating the data. So these are the things you have to learn, how the in-place operations is happening in the array. So similarly, I have done for other data structures also. Once you are done with this, can you just go to the previous page itself? Yeah, can you scroll up a bit more back to explore? Yeah, no, so on top of featured, yeah, back to, yeah, on top, yeah. So can you go to problems? Yeah, so scroll down a bit. Yeah, just one second, stop. So So difficulty. Kavil, can you hover it to hover the mouse to difficulty section? Yes. Just click there so that it sort the once again. Yeah. So now you see that it has sorted the data. So with respect to or against the difficulty. So easy problems have been sorted. So what you can do is you can start solving the problems from easy, like the difficulty, easy category. Okay. And you also must be having an option to shortlist the data structure also. I think, can you just scroll up a bit? Yes. So if you see, just one second, there is a expand section, expand, yeah, drop down, yeah. So here, if you see, the first one is array, then we have the string. So if you want to start with array, so it will just bring up only array problems. Then you can sort it on the basis of the difficulty level, and then you can start the solving the problem. Initially, if you're facing hurdle, there is no harm, right? Like I said before, also there is no harm looking at the solution. Please walk through the solution thoroughly, understand how they have come up with that solution, and then second time when you're visiting the same problem, please ensure that you're not referring to the solution. You try to write it on your own. And please, so it has the access, I mean, you can solve the problem in any language. It has the option for C, C++, Java, Python. You can use any language to solve the problem. Let's go through one problem also. Can you go scroll down a bit? Yeah, two sum. Just open the first problem, two sum. Now, yes, this is the problem. Now, if you see on the right side, there is an option to select the language also. C++ is there on the right. Yes, drop down, click, yeah. So these are the language it offers. You can write your solution in any of these language. And one more thing, a very important thing, when you are solving the problem and you see that there is a requirement for Java role or there is a requirement for C plus role, companies, especially the product-based companies, they hire you irrespective of your language. What do I mean by this? That they feel that if you know one language and you are good in problem solving, I think it's going to be easy for you. Like you would be able to learn another language easily because there is hardly any, I think, not much difference in these languages. Like if you know C++, wouldn't be difficult for you to learn Java. If I know Java, it wouldn't be difficult for me to learn Python. So companies hire irrespective of any language. So whatever your preference is, you can solve the problem on the basis of your preferred language. Now coming now also on the left side, if you see there is a description wherein you see the problem details. Then also there is another section which is says discussions. No, I'm talking about the problem itself. Yeah, discussions. Wherein you'll see the discussions. People have discussed the problem, what were the edge cases, like the important details. And the third one is solutions. People have discussed the time complexity, people have discussed the space complexity. Then people now here also folks have or coders, they have written the solution in different languages. So if you are not able to come up with the solution, you can refer to the solution section and you'll get the solution. And now let's move to the first page itself, explore. Just go back here, lead code. I think no, just go back. I think click on back. Uh, yes. Go to problems. No, just go to problems. Now go to discuss. somebody was asking me regarding the compensation also. So you can go through the compensation section here. So somebody gets hired, their interview experience, the compensation, the career, the study guide, general discussion. You can go through all these things. People have written their offer numbers also. So you can just work through that. You'll get all the details. Folks have also written their interview experience, what questions had been asked, or how the interview process is. So you will get all the data here. Now let's go back to the query. But meanwhile, does anyone has any question?
Kiruna Mai Chinta Kaila, request you to mute yourself, please. And Arki Doshi, there is a lot of noise coming from your end. Yes. Kiruna Mai Chinta Kaila, please mute yourself so that Ankita can answer all your queries. Yes, we have questions here. Shall we fear AI ML? That's one question that student has asked.
What is the question?
Shall we fear artificial intelligence, machine learning? So there's something to be scared of. This is the question they have. And there's one more question from Bhavin. It says, what types of technology, including DSA, have you acquired to get hired for a position such as web development, Android development, or any other view for DSA?
Okay, so along with DSA, data structure algorithms, so product-based companies, especially for SD roles, if you want to go for software development engineer role, those company definitely ask you data structure and algorithms. Now coming to web development. So web development, which means that you should have worked on REST APIs, so one is you must be learning one language, right? The language must be there. Then there's going to be if you have worked on the microservices or REST APIs or Spring Boot. I'm talking about like how what technologies I had worked on. So if you have experience in this or you have built some small projects or tiny projects, yeah, I think it would be a plus. But as a fresher, it's definitely a plus. Uh, but if you're going for campus selection, DSA would suffice. But yeah, I think as now it's very competitive out there in the market. So if you upscale your skills, I think please do that.
Thank you, Ankita. There's one more question. Please tell me, this is from Gunjan Raj, please tell how to implement theoretical concept of data structure in practical session. If you could brief them, because considering that we have a constraint on time also, so I would want to cover maximum number of questions.
All right, okay. So like I have just walked you through the theoretical concept of arrays and all the data structures. And then I had shown that they have also given certain questions on the same data structure, like insertion, like deletion, that updation, how the in-place operation happens. So this is where your data structure learnings come into place. Like that or in future that when you are solving the problems also, if you are not aware that which data structure should be used, you understand the problem, you try to figure out the solution, and if you feel the basics of that the data structures can be applied to that in order to come up with that solution for that problem, you can, that's where data structure learning comes in place. And second, when you're writing, yeah, I think that is one. Let me just also give you one example. Can you just go to the explore or go to the problem section? Yeah, just scroll down a bit. Yeah. So now we take to some problem. I might not take much time. I'll just brief you how you can. So here you see that this is the problem given an array of integers nums and an integer target return indices of the two numbers as such that they add up to a target. Now, one thing, you will know how a array works, right? When you are iterating through the array, you have to iterate one by one. You cannot hop, right? Especially when here it's a sorted array. And when you have to come up with the target, you have to go through each element. And the iteration will happen one by one. You have to go through each element of the array because they're stored in the contiguous location. So when you are going through the problem, your data structure learning or your data structure concepts will come in place when you are thinking of the solution. Uh, it might not be very comprehensive to you right now when I'm explaining it, but once you start the solving the problem, you will experience it on your own. That yes, data structure learning is coming into play or it's coming into picture when you are trying to find a solution, because then you start visualizing that okay, this is array storing the data, how the iteration can happen, how the insertion can happen in this, if I'm shifting the data or in array itself, how the shifting will happen, how much time will it take, how I'll be iterating over the elements in order to shift the data. So yeah, in such scenarios, you will see the data structure learning will indeed help you. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, we have so many questions. Thanks a lot for such an interactive session. So I'll read few more questions. Now the question that we have is, okay, let me read. There are so many questions. Okay, which is the most demanded programming language in today's time?
There are so many languages. There is Python, there is JavaScript, there is Go, there is Java. So I think you can learn any of these languages. C++ is also
regarding the
Uh,
graphic language,
Preeti,
if I want to.
Preeti Singh, kindly mute yourself. You're disturbing the speaker, please.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
there are so many languages which are demanding in the market. See, nothing is as demanding, it's not demanding. It's always from the company perspective or the company's requirement. So Microsoft, they hire C++. They still go for C++ language. And there are a lot of companies who are still working on Java. There are companies which require Go language. There are companies which require Python. So you can learn any of these languages: Go, Python, JavaScript, whatever your whatever you have inclination towards.
All right, so now I'll be asking my last question. The question is from Anidhya Agrawal. She says, ma'am, what should be the approach to start solving problems for a complete beginner?
For a complete beginner, fun. Firstly, the first step, the biggest step would be create your lead code profile. And after creating the lead code profile, go through the theoretical concept and of each data structure, and then start solving the problem. So initially, you might find it you might juggle while coming up to the solution, but slowly and gradually, once you start learning, you will indeed start liking solving problems. And for that also, there is one section. Kavil, can you just go to the first page? Yeah. So here, can now, yeah. So I have another account also, but here, what you can do is you can check your progress. I think there must be a link for this. Okay, yeah. So here you can check how many problems you have solved, how many easy problems you have solved, how many medium problems you have solved, how many hard problems you have solved. Then you can also look at the progress, 93 submissions in the last year. And can you scroll down a bit more? Then, yeah, solutions, discussion, recent problems I have solved. So yeah, this is how you can track your progress. But yeah, initially you will definitely juggle while solving the problem. Start with basic problems like finding the prime number, summing the numbers, inserting the data in array, inserting the data in linked list, shifting the data in the array, performing in place operations. Start with these basic problems, the easiest problems wherein you will not face a lot of difficulties. And once you are good with that, you are able to think through the problem and come up with the solution. Then go ahead and continue solving the problem. But I think as a student, you should definitely solve the problems regularly on a regular basis. Does that answer your question? We can go back to the first page again.
I think somebody just said thanks, so I'm assuming it did. So yeah. So where do you want me to go, Ankita? Should I go to the presentation or?
Yeah, you can go back to the presentation.
Okay.
All right, and now coming to building network. So building network, one initially, I told you to create a LinkedIn profile. I got all the calls via LinkedIn. I did not get call from any other platform. I think one was Insta Hire and one was the LinkedIn. A lot of people approached me via LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a, a very good platform, and I think most of the people are present on LinkedIn, and hiring also mostly done via LinkedIn itself, because recruiter, they just come to your profile, they see all the details. If it matches, they'll just share the job description and they'll go ahead with the hiring process. So one you can do is create your LinkedIn profile, build your network. You can connect with the people who are working in different companies, the software developers, and also recruiters. You can search the talent acquisition of different companies. You know, any company, like there is Amdocs, or there is Microsoft, there are other startups, Coinbase. You can connect with the recruiters of these companies and build your network. And also, if you want to share your CV, you can do that. This will so if you're working on any like open, if you're contributing to any open source project, or if you're working on any freelancing project, and if there is a requirement for SDA1, they would approach you. Or you can just go on the career page, or you see or you can go on the job openings. If there is any opening for SD1, you can just go ahead and apply there. Plus, you can also reach out to the recruiter on the LinkedIn itself of that company and tell them that this is the role I want to apply for. Plus, you can also connect with the developers of multiple companies. That also helps you. Why? How come it helps you? For me, how it worked is when I connected with different people, they shared a lot of good posts. They post a lot of good information regarding the technology or how the market is working. If there is any relevant info, it definitely helps you. Or if there is any job opening, people ask for the referrals. Like there are multiple roles or open roles in my company. Please let me know if you want me to refer you. You can share your CV with them. So lot of LinkedIn is really wide. You can connect with the recruiters. You can connect with the software developers and build your network. Also, from that, you are learning a lot of things. And yeah, like I initially or in the beginning, I said that contribute to open source project. Please, you may Google it. You'll find multiple open source projects available for beginners. So you can apply in for those companies, or you can apply for those open source project. And if your contribution is accepted, that would be a great thing. So that is something you can do. You can also take a freelancing project if you want to monetize it. There are a lot of freelancing projects also available wherein you can contribute and make money also. So yeah, there are US-based companies and other country-based companies also which hire freelancing developers. So you can apply there. So you can Google all these info. Everything is available in Google. And yes, if you do not find it, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I can share further details also. Can we move to the next slide? Or if anyone has any question?
Yeah, one question I think, Ankita, from Purvi. She's asking leadcode.com access is free or not?
Yeah, it is free. It's free of cost. Medium.com, LeadCode, all free of cost. Whatever I'm sharing, it's all free of cost.
Okay, so how to get freelancing jobs? Somebody has also asked.
For freelancing jobs, like I mentioned, you can just Google it. There are a lot of freelancing project available for beginners also. You can just type freelancing project for beginners. You will see a lot of openings and you can apply there. And if your profile or their requirement matches with your profile, they'll connect with you. Somebody is asking, will you teach to make a LinkedIn profile? Yes, if we are left with some spare time at the end, I'll walk you through like how you can, what all information you can put in your LinkedIn profile. So Kavil, are we done or is there any slide left?
I think slides are all done, Ankita.
All right. So I think we can take up that question if we have some time. Can you go to my LinkedIn account? First one.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is just open a new window and type linkedin.com, yeah, a new tab.
Oh, I think
So
there's.
Kawal, can you log out yourself
Yes,
if
I'm
possible?
doing that, Ankita. Sorry. Yes, Ankita. This is, I think, the first page. Yeah.
Yeah. So you will, I think this is the first page. No, this is for sign up, right? Sign in. Are we not getting the option to sign up?
Join now.
Yeah. Click on join now. Yeah. So here you can put your information, like your email number, your email ID or your phone number, and you can put the password here. And then I think you will get some, the way you create a Gmail account, you must be having a Gmail account, right? So similarly, you have to just put the basic details while signing up. And once you are signed up, you have put the basic information, you have created your credentials, username and the password. Then what you can do is you can go there and put the other details, like you have seen in my account. You have to just put the description. One, what's your role? So you must be a student, right? So you can put the student, which college, and then there will be a section for skills wherein you can highlight the skills which you have. So if you know any language, put the language here. You have learned any database, put the database there. If you know any other tools, you have worked with any other tool, put all those details. If you know the CS fundamentals, you can put the CS fundamentals and all. So you can put all your, just the prominent details. Do not put lot of info. Okay, just the prominent or highlight those skills, and then you can put about like what are you working on, and if you have created you have any GitHub account wherein you're pushing your code, so you can just put the link of that. If you have a lead code profile, put the link of your lead code profile. And also if you're writing any tech blog or you have any other repository wherein you're keeping all the learnings, so you can put the link there. And you have to just provide your college education details. This is it, the basic info. And sometimes we learn very small things, right? Very small concepts, like we have HTTP functions, right? We have post, we have get, we have patch. So there is a put and patch, right? So put and patch, the functionality is similar, but there is a slight difference between them. So if you have learned that concept, you can just post it, and that's how people will start looking at your profile. That's how you attract people's or folks' attention to your account. If are a lot of activities happening on your account, it will grab people's or folks' attention. So that's what you can do. Or if you learned any small concept, any you learned any syntax of any language like Java, you learned any collection, and you got to know that how is it storing the data, how is it different from others. You can put a slide, you can write a small post. I mean, you can write small precise info or precise learning and post it on your account. It's helpful for people who are connected with you. They can go through your post and learn from it. And at the same time, you are grabbing or getting a folks' attention to your account who are there in your connection. Yeah. So these are the two plus which are happening from your post. And I'm telling you, if you are, it's not always mandatory or it's not essential that you put the correct information. There is no harm in putting the, if you're not very sure, just put it, the audience will correct you. If you're writing something wrong, audience will give you the feedback. Uh, they'll give you the feedback, just correct it. And that's how we learn from our mistakes. So uh, do not create this wall that, oh, I have to write well, I know everything. No, it's not that important. Shall we move forward? Do we have any other questions? No.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ankita. I think we can conclude our session here. So thank you very much for just bringing in with your valuable time and, getting to interact with our students. So that will be a really a motivating thing for them as well. We thank you very much.
And before we leave, can we all switch on our camera for a group photograph? And Kaval, if you can stop sharing your screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
request all the
everyone.
please turn on your cameras.
I can see people are still switching on their cameras. Yes. And put some smile on your face. Yeah. Or if people are, I cannot see Ankita. Ankita, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Ankita
still
is
here.
there. Just a moment. Let me spotlight her.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, students, please turn on your cameras. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Keep smiling, please. I'm taking screenshots, as I have to take screenshot of almost 14 pages. Yes. Once more, any pose like this or that anyone would like to suggest? Something like this, yeah, whatever you prefer. Any other pose? Yes. This one, okay. Let's follow this then. On count of my three, I'll take the screenshot. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Thank you. Done.
Once again, thank you very much. Thanks, Ankita. Thank you, Sandeep ma'am, Atanu, for supporting this program and for supporting this session. And I think we can conclude this now.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Very
All the
much.
very best.
Thank you, Ankita. Thanks a lot for your valuable time, and thanks to all the students for actively participating in this particular expert session. We are very hopeful that we would be connecting with you soon and we would have a wonderful session like we had now. So thanks a lot once again. You have a great days of learning ahead. Bye. Thank you.